I never imagined my son's wedding would end with me standing outside the venue, keys shaking in my hand, while laughter echoed behind closed doors. The moment still replayed in my head like a cruel joke. Music had stopped. Conversations froze mid-sentence. And there she was, Emma, standing in front of me with a tight smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You shouldn't be here," she said sharply. "You've caused enough trouble. Leave." Every guest turned toward us. I felt their eyes burn into my skin. My fingers tightened around my purse, the same purse that held the check I had written weeks ago to cover nearly everything for this wedding. I waited for my son, Ryan, to say something. Anything. He didn't. He stared at the floor like a stranger. Not a word. Not a glance. That silence hurt more than Emma's venom. I swallowed hard and forced my legs to move. I walked past rows of guests pretending not to stare, my face burning with humiliation. By the time I reached my car, my chest felt hollow, like something inside me had cracked open. I sat there in the dark parking lot, gripping the steering wheel as Emma's words replayed in my head. "You're not welcome here." The phone buzzed beside me. Texts flooded in. "Why did you leave? Don't make a scene. Are you okay?" Not one message asked why I had been thrown out. Not one person defended me. That's when the sadness began to harden into something colder. I had paid for the venue, the catering, the band, the flowers, every contract, every deposit, my name, my money. And yet I had been dismissed like an inconvenience. They thought I would cry quietly and come back begging. They were wrong. I pulled up the wedding planner's contact and pressed call. "Hi, this is Colleen," I said when she answered. My voice didn't shake. "I need you to cancel everything." There was a pause. "I'm sorry, cancel what exactly?" "All of it. Venue, vendors, payments. Effective immediately." She hesitated. "These contracts are under your name, but are you sure?" "If I'm not welcome at the wedding," I replied calmly, "neither is my money." When I hung up, my hands finally stopped shaking. By the time I reached home, my sadness had turned into resolve. I laid the wedding binder on the kitchen table, the one I had organized myself. Tabs neatly labeled. Invoices clipped carefully. Every sacrifice documented. One by one, I started calling. The venue. Cancelled. The florist. Cancelled. The caterer. Cancelled. The band. Cancelled. Each call felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. They didn't own this wedding. I did. And if they thought this humiliation was the end of the story, they had no idea what was coming next. I didn't know it yet, but by morning, my son would be pounding on my door, and everything between us would shatter forever. The knock came just after sunrise. Hard, angry, desperate. "Mom." "Open the door." I stood perfectly still in the kitchen, coffee growing cold on the counter. I wasn't ready. Not yet. The knocking grew louder. "You can't do this. This is our wedding." I opened the door slowly. Ryan stood there, eyes red, hair uncombed, fury written across his face. He pushed past me without waiting for permission. "What the hell is wrong with you?" he snapped. "The venue's gone. The vendors won't answer. Do you even care what you've done?" I met his eyes. I stopped paying for my own humiliation. He scoffed. Emma didn't mean what she said. She was stressed. "She told me to leave." I replied quietly. "And you let her." He paced the room like a trapped animal. I was trying to keep the peace. "You chose silence," I said. "That was your choice." His voice dropped, sharp and cruel. "You've always been controlling. This is why Dad left." The words hit, but I didn't break. "I gave you everything," I said. "And when I needed you for one moment, you disappeared." His jaw tightened. "You're choosing this hill to die on?" "No," I said calmly. "You chose her. Now, let her pay." I opened the door and waited. He stormed out, slamming it so hard the walls shook. The phone calls came next. Family, friends, everyone telling me to be the bigger person. No one asking what had been done to me. By evening, my phone lit up with messages from Emma. Bitter, jealous, toxic. Ryan defended her. That was the moment I understood the truth. I wasn't his mother anymore. I was his wallet. And I was done. I thought canceling the wedding was the hardest thing I'd face, until I discovered what they had been doing behind my back. I didn't plan to find out the truth that way. It came through an email, bright, cheerful, and devastating. Thank you for confirming your luxury honeymoon package. My credit card. $26,000. My stomach dropped as I opened my banking app. The charges stacked up like evidence in a courtroom. Designer luggage. Private chefs. Spa deposits. All made weeks ago. Without permission. They hadn't just expected my generosity. They had counted on it. I called my lawyer that morning. She listened quietly, then said, "Freeze the accounts. Send a cease and desist. And don't respond to them directly." For the first time, I felt protected. That afternoon, Emma went public. A tearful video. Cropped angles. Carefully chosen words. She painted me as jealous. Vindictive. Heartless. The comments exploded. At first, they believed her. Then the truth leaked. Vendor confirmations. Screenshots. Proof that I had paid for everything. By the end of the week, Emma's post stopped. Ryan went silent. And I booked myself a quiet getaway by the ocean. On the day they were supposed to say, "I do," I raised a glass instead and finally chose myself. The wedding day arrived anyway. Sunshine. Clear skies. Perfect weather. I woke up to ocean air and calm silence.
No chaos. No screaming. No expectations.
At exactly the time the ceremony was supposed to begin, I imagined the empty venue.
No flowers. No guests.
No music. Just consequences. I posted one photo. Nothing dramatic. Peace looks good on me. The internet did the rest. By Monday, the whispers had turned into laughter. The story became a warning. Emma disappeared from social media. Ryan called. I declined. But just when I thought it was over, my son reached out again, with words I never expected. Ryan's message came late at night. "We're ready to forgive you." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was final. I didn't reply. I didn't explain. Some doors don't need to be slammed. They just need to stay closed. I wasn't their villain. I was their lesson. And for the first time in decades, I was free. They thought I was weak because I loved them. But love without respect has limits, and I finally reached mine.